When I first started studying towards becoming a CA, it was kind of always thought as this cushy career, like I'm going to work hard for the next 7 or 8 years and then I'm guaranteed a successful future. But here's the reality in 2025. Being a CASA is not enough anymore. I realize this is a potentially controversial thing to say, but I stand by it. The CEO of Anthropic, one of the most advanced AI companies right now, recently said in an interview about 50% of white-collar jobs are going to disappear completely in the next 2 to 5 years. And that's not 50 years, that's not 10 years, that's basically now. And he's talking about the exact kind of work that a CA would do. I'm talking reconciliations, reporting, creating financial models, auditing, ticking in. This is stuff that AI can do now, and it's cheaper, it's faster, and they don't need to take breaks. And without sounding too alarmist, we are heading into the biggest shift of white-collar work that we've probably ever seen. And finance, and auditing, and accounting, and basically anything that a CA might consider to go into after articles, it's not safe anymore. So if you're coasting through articles right now, thinking that the CASA is going to do the heavy lifting, I'm here to tell you it won't. In this video, I'm going to break down why the traditional path isn't enough, the specific ways that your role might be disrupted, and most importantly, what you can do now to stay ahead. Let's get into it. In case you're new, hi, I'm Maddy. I'm an eligible CASA, an ex-Big Four, and now I'm a finance analyst for a US tech company. Just to give you context, I think the CASA used to be the golden ticket, right? And in many ways it does still open doors. I just think that it's changing very rapidly, and I want everyone to be aware of that. I feel like it's super sugar-coated at the moment, but I think what's happening is very scary, and if you're not scared, you should be. We need to be honest about how the landscape's changing, and I think it's kind of difficult to do that when you are in corporate and your job seems very secure. And it's even more difficult when you've never worked before, maybe you're studying. You can't really see what's going on and how roles might be changing. I work in tech, I see it happen, I'm watching it literally change before my eyes. And I just feel that maybe let's just be honest about what's happening. So what is going on now? Junior CA tasks are being automated. ChatGPT can literally produce a financial model within seconds, and it's free. Your finance teams are shrinking. They're doing more with way less. And just to put that in context, I've been in 2 finance teams outside of my auditing articles, and by finance teams, I mean me. I literally did bookkeeping, compliance, financial models, the whole finance function, and it's just me. And why? Because AI has made literally everything so much easier for me. So what might have taken a 7-person finance team to do, you can do with 1 person, and it's much cheaper for the business. And no, I'm not talking about your traditional companies like your ShopRites and whatnot. Those might take a bit more time to evolve, but I definitely don't think that it's not going to change. I think we're all going to be impacted by how quickly AI is evolving, because at the end of the day, the company does care about the bottom line. And if it's cheaper, it's cheaper. AI tools can write working papers, they can do reconciliations, they automate bank transactions, and they're much, much better at analyzing patterns. So your traditional audit work may also become obsolete. So yes, qualifying as a CA is still impressive, but it no longer guarantees anything. And I think that's the idea I want to drive home today. If all you've done is audit files for the last 3 years, you're really going to struggle in a market that needs and wants more. Just as a disclaimer, when I talk about doing articles, I mean the traditional audit route. I only did my articles in audit, so that's what I know. But I guess the AI stuff does apply to all other career paths. And again, let me be clear, I'm not saying auditing is useless by any stretch. It teaches you how to understand financial statements, to analyze large data sets, think critically under pressure, and communicate with large teams. Those are all essential tools that will do you well in any sort of career path you choose. Whether that's FP&A or product or ops or consulting, whatever, those are great tools to have, great skills to have. What I am saying though is that they're not enough on their own anymore. Because oftentimes an employer will ask you, what can you do that AI can't do? And I think a lot of candidates are going to fall short on that now. Can you think strategically? Can you tell stories with data? Are you above the AI curve? Do you know what's happening? Do you know about all the tools that can replace your work? Can you automate your boring tasks instead of just doing it manually and potentially wasting time? These are all sorts of questions you should be asking yourself now. And the uncomfortable truth is, most CAs are going to be competing not just with each other, like it was previously, but with AI. And that's terrifying. So in order to stay relevant, you need to have an edge. You need to be more than just technically competent. You need to be curious. You need to be finding new tools. You need to know what's going on in the world. You need to be super strategic and not just after articles. You need to start right now. And this segment might sound braggy, but I thought it might be helpful to give context. Please forgive. But basically, during my studies, I worked part-time as an accountant, where I got well-versed in Xero and Sage and doing month-end. So by the time I hit articles, I had more of an understanding of the client side of things. And that really helped my auditing. And I could say on my CV, cool, I've got 3 years of accounting software understanding, got 3 years of Manax, 3 years of month end, I'm kitted. Once I hit articles, I helped my friends build their startup's finances from scratch, and that meant learning to build dashboards on Metabase, setting up their accounting software, doing financial models, learning about tech stack, and even creating investor decks and learning about the fundraising process. So by the time I qualified, I had 6 years of experience outside of audit, and that made pivoting into my dream job, working in a US tech startup, so much easier, so much more achievable than if I hadn't done anything at all. Because I'd already been confronted with technical relevant experience and AI tools. And no, I don't want to be toxic. I'm not saying everyone must work their 80-hour weeks in articles and do a side hustle, but we are in a high stakes environment. You can't afford to be subpar or even par. You need to be well beyond par. Someone insert golf reference, I'm not sure. And I don't want everyone to just be scared of what I'm saying. I think that's silly. There's no point in terrifying people if you can't offer advice. So the question is, how do you stay relevant in the world where AI is moving this fast? Here's what I recommend. Firstly, upskill with intention. This means getting really good at Excel, learning Power BI, learning SQL, using tools like Notion or ChatGPT, Cursor, being very familiar with them, but with purpose. I think you can spend a lot of time doing a course and not really absorb what you're doing. Like anyone can learn how to code or whatever, but actually have no idea how to do it practically. So step 2 is give yourself a project. And this means reaching out to friends who are starting something cool and being like, hey, maybe I can help you set up accounting software. Then you can learn hands-on with very low stakes. Maybe your mom's friend needs help setting up a website. Offer to do it. Cursor and Lovable can do it pretty much immediately. Why don't you learn those tools? Set up a project, have a purpose. You can't just do these things kind of in a silo. They have to have a goal attached to them. And then share it with LinkedIn, generate a brand, get people to know that you don't just do audit or articles or whatever, you're doing stuff, you're making things, you're building up your CV. Another thing I think people struggle with after articles is that you're so focused on auditing the business, you've never actually thought like the business. Start thinking like the business now. How does this decision affect revenue? How does it affect costs? How will it scale the business? Think like a business owner. And also document your learning now. So if you are making projects, as I said, share them on LinkedIn. Write it down on your CV. Take notes. Build up your resume. And lastly, of course, research AI tools. You need to block out 20 minutes a day, people, to research AI tools. If you're not doing that, you're falling behind. And it's not because you need to be using them now or whatever the case might be. It's just understanding, oh, this could automate this part of my job at some point. Or if you are interested, yes, definitely use them. I mean, just for reference, there wasn't a ChatGPT when I started articles, and now it's all anyone uses. So it's really scary. It moves fast. Make sure you stay ahead of the curve. But more than anything, stay curious and be uncomfortable. I think the CAs that are going to thrive in the next chapter are the ones that really force themselves out of their comfort zone and force themselves to learn more, because the world is changing, and I'm not sure that everyone's ready for it. Sorry, I feel like this has been like a negative Nancy rant. That's not my vibe. I just feel really passionate about this. It's obviously an area that I work in, so I'm extra passionate, but also because I don't know, I was around people that maybe didn't question the status quo enough, and I feel like that's not going to stand the test of time. So to wrap up, the CAish is a massive achievement, but it's just the starting point. The world is shifting, and it's shifting fast. So if you want to survive and thrive, you need to take control of your growth and strategize now. Not in 5 years' time and not after your APC, but now. So if this video was a scary wake-up call, good. That's what I meant it to do. I think we cannot be complacent. You're silly if you are ending work at 5 and clocking off. You need to be thinking about things and pushing yourself now and strategizing for your future, guys. Sorry, this feels like a mom rant. But like, honestly, yeah, I'm going to ramble if I carry on, but I feel very strongly about this. Anyway, if you're thinking about upskilling, pivoting, creating new projects, please let me know in the comments. My door's always open, so to speak. I love hearing from all of you. And like and subscribe. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I'll see you next time.